Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm coming back to you with a Bible journaling entry using the kit from DaySpring. And this is What's True About You, Your Own Story. This is going to be a two-part kit, so they have this month's kit and then next month's kit will be the same theme. You can check out the unboxing of this kit as well as another process video that I have. I'll link those down below for you guys. And this is still available over at DaySpring, so I will have everything linked down below for you. Now, I sat down to create for this entry, and I'm still working in my original illustrating Bible. Now, I ran into a couple of problems that I wanted to share with you guys. Now, I very easily could have jumped into my new illustrating Bible, had a fresh, clean page, and not even worried about it, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to share with you guys how I deal with some issues. So, the card that I'm working on is this one here, You Don't Have to Compete, Hebrews 12, 1 through 2. And so we're talking about, we are all on a faith walk and we don't have to compete with each other. That's not what we need to do. So we all need to just move at our own pace, just focus on God and not be looking aside at our sisters and brothers and seeing what they're doing and comparing ourselves and that kind of thing. So for Hebrews 12, 1 through 2, I've actually already journaled the second part of Hebrews 12, 2 on this page. And so that isn't a huge issue. What I immediately thought was, it's okay, I'll come over to the opposite page and I'll journal over here and I'll just write the verse over here somewhere or somehow reference that it's the verse that's over here. But now when I turn to this other page, what you'll see here is I have some bleed through. Now, I have always shared on my channel that I do not typically prep my Bible pages. I don't worry about bleed through. I don't let that stop me from the products that I'm using or how I'm creating. I just deal with it at a later time. And most oftentimes, I don't really end up dealing with the bleed through because I don't come to that page for whatever reason. I don't know how that works out. But today we're coming to a page where there's bleed through. So what I have on the back side here is my favorite Distress Oxide ink. This is Frayed Burlap. Frayed Burlap is beautiful. It has all these rich colors in it. And so this was painted and smushed and stamped on without prepping this page. But as you can see back here, even in the illustrating Bible, there was some bleed through in the areas where I stamped down the color. And so we have to address that. So there's a couple different ways. If it's just in the margin, you can cover up the margin. I am going to use one of these cards from the kit to cover up a little bit of it, but I'm going to need to do a few things to deal with this. Because Distress Oxide inks are a water reactive ink, meaning that even when they're dry, if you get it wet again, it's going to continue to reactivate. It never is permanent. It can always be moved. So before I even do anything on this page, I need to prep it. Now, I don't do a whole lot of page prep, but this is the time that it is necessary, because if I was to not prep this and go in with wet mediums, it's going to reactivate this ink and I'm going to have a huge mess, a bigger mess than I already have. Now, I could stick to just using die cuts and stickers and tape and things like that and keep it dry, and that would be fine. But that doesn't take care of these areas that's over the text, because I don't necessarily want to, plop down a big old die cut or a big old flower and cover up my text. I mean, you can do that, but I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep the page with some transparent watercolor ground, because I'm going to do some watercoloring. So this is my preferred way to prep the page if I am going to be using watercolors. I'm going to be using Neocolor 2 crayons today, a little bit similar to the other process video, but I wanted to kind of share with you how I'm prepping the page to deal with this bleed through and how we are going to kind of distract from that. So like I said, we're working in Hebrews 12, 1 through 2, and those verses say, "Therefore, since we also have such a large cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let us lay aside every hindrance and the sin that so easily ensnares us. Let us run with endurance the race that lies before us, keeping our eyes on Jesus, the source and perfecter of our faith. For the joy that lay before him, he endured the cross, despising the shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." So that is what we're going to be journaling today. So let me go ahead and put you on fast forward, and we will walk through this, and I'll show you how I take care of this bleed through. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting one of these plastic mats behind my page. This is actually a flexible cutting mat from the Dollar Tree. And to apply the watercolor ground, I'm going to use a paint card. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, why not a brush? Why not one of the other many ways that there is to apply, page prep? But I want to make sure that I don't get this page too wet because watercolor ground or matte gel medium or gesso, they all have moisture in them, and just that moisture alone will reactivate the distress ink. So I want to make sure that I'm applying very, very thin layers of the watercolor ground so that I don't disturb the ink. So a paint card allows you to apply really, really thin layers, and they're nice and smooth. I don't have to worry about brush strokes or anything like that. But I am going to go ahead and apply 2 or 3 layers of this to make sure that it's fully covered. So I do dry in between the layers, and I could just apply this to where the bleed through is, but it's easier just to cover the whole page. That way it's taken care of. I don't have to worry about it. So you can see I'm working from the center of the Bible, or like the left hand side of the page, and then pulling out to the right, and that just gives me a nice smooth application. You can see I'm going over it several times to make sure that all the areas of the page are covered, because nothing is worse than thinking that your page is prepped and then finding that you missed one little spot that soaks up all of the medium and bleeds through. So once that is dry, I can go ahead and move on. Now, the watercolor ground directions do say to let it cure for 24 hours. I'm too impatient for that, so I just hit it with my heat tool really, really, really good, and it works fine for me. I don't have any issues. So now what I have here is a paint palette that I created in my other process video. All I did was took some Neocolor 2 crayons, scribbled them out onto some plastic trash, and now that's my paint palette. So I'm using the same colors, and so you can watch that other video or check out my unboxing blog post. I have the color swatches over there for you guys. Now, when I started this, I was kind of like, this isn't going to work. This isn't dark enough, because you can see I'm trying to create a flower right where this ring of bleed through is, and it is just looks like a pink and yellow mess. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just power through. We're going to make this work. So what I'm doing is anywhere where there are those bleed through rings, that's where I'm adding a flower. So typically this isn't really how I would lay the flowers out on this page, and in the end it kind of looks a little bit awkward, but I'm just trying to stick them where the bleed through is to cover up the bleed through, and you'll see in the end it really pulls together. But at this point I'm a little unsure, but I'm just creating 4 petals that are kind of a little bit of a heart shape. I am mixing a little bit of the yellow, the orange, the pink, the deeper pink, just to get some variety. And you are going to have to build up layers of this, and I realize it's still not going to be dark enough, so I just go straight in with the crayon itself. So I'm alternating between like golden yellow, I think it's light yellow, pink or salmon, I think, carmine, I don't know, there's just a whole mess of colors that I'm mixing and matching. And so what I'm doing is actually coloring directly onto the petal itself, and then taking my wet paintbrush and activating the pigment, and that just gives me a little bit more intensity of the pigment. But still at this point I'm like, well, dang it, this video is a wash. This is not working. This looks like Hot Mess Express. You can't even tell what these are. This is horrible, but it comes together, I promise. So just layering these up. Now, working on something like watercolor ground or gesso or matte gel medium, you're gonna find that water mediums work so different. You can see I'm having lots of puddling. I'm having to hold the one side of my Bible up because my Bible is so chunky that it's actually wanting to all run to one side because there's so much water and liquid on this page. So I don't love painting over the top of prepped pages, but in this case, I didn't really have a choice. I had to. So I decided just, you know what, we're just going to go with it. It looks horrible, but whatever, and move on. I've picked up, these actually aren't the same colors that I had in my palette. This is Payne's Gray and Night Blue. And I am sketching out some leaves and things like that just to kind of fill out these flowers a little bit, hoping that it'll make them look a little more like flowers and to help cover up some more of those bleed through rings. And then I can go in and just activate that pigment with my paintbrush. So this time I kind of learned from the flowers that I needed to go in directly with the crayons first to get that really intense pigment. And I was trying to get that kind of bluish gray that is in the graphics of this kit. So this worked a little bit better. Just activating things. I'm not letting my paintbrush get too wet because, like I said, this water just sits on top of this page. So you can see the placement of those flowers is a little bit weird, not exactly what I would normally do, but that's okay. It covers up the stuff I got going on. I'm going to add a little bit of that blue and gray mixture to the center of the flowers and dry that once again. And then I thought, you know what if I go in and kind of messily sketch some outlines around these? Maybe that will give it some more definition, and this saves this page. So I initially go in with the Illustrated Faith Precision pens. These are my favorite pens, but they are struggling writing over the watercolor ground and the Neocolor 2 crayons. Neocolor 2 crayons usually don't give me too much trouble like gelatos do, but you could see I had a lot of pigment on this page and there was just a lot of stuff, and so my pen keeps clogging. Every time you see my hand move away, I'm scribbling it onto a scrap piece of paper, wiping it on a baby wipe, trying to get it to work, and it's just not working. So here I switched to one of the scrapbook.com Slick Writer pens. These pens are actually created for writing on like photo paper and things like that, and so this works much better. In hindsight, I probably would go back and actually have used like maybe a colored pencil or even a China marker might have worked better than trying to ruin my pens. But you can see this little bit of sketchy, messy black lines really pulls it together and makes it look like what they're supposed to look like, and kind of helps cover up even more of those bleed through lines. So I'm really glad that I did that. I'm also going to add some little bit of splatters of that gray and that deep blue. Again, this is just going to help kind of mask some of the other bleed through that I had on the page. And that's going to be it for the painting part. So now I'm just going to layer up some of the die cuts from the kit. There were these little card pieces, going to put a clear sticker. Now, after I did this and I'm sitting here doing the voiceover, I realized I never did write down the verse reference on this page. So I'll have to go back and write that it was Hebrews 12, 1-2, or I'm going to have no idea what I was journaling here. So I was just so caught up in what I was doing, I didn't get that far. So I left myself this spot here at the top I'm going to use for my journaling. I'm trying to see if I want to incorporate some of that washi somewhere. I don't know about you. I have a really hard time with washi that has words on it. I do not use it as much as I use some of my other washis. It's really hard for me to incorporate. I don't know why. I struggle with it. So I pulled out this die cut. This is Amazing Purpose. This kit this month doesn't really come with any tabs, so I'm going to use what's in the kit to make a tab. So I'm going to layer a little bit of this washi behind this die cut piece, because I like to anchor my tabs. It kind of reinforces the paper, and it's just something I typically do. So even though this isn't really my favorite washi to use for this, I'm going to do it because the colors matched and it came with the kit. So at this point, we're just going to leave that as a square, but it just was sticking way up. So I'm going to cut some off the top. Tried that, and I thought, well, you know what if I cut it with my tab punch? Well, it's too small, so then I'm getting it stuck in my tab punch. So I decide to attach it to another plain white piece of cardstock and then cut that out. But apparently our tab punches cannot cut through 2 layers of cardstock. So I fight with this and fight with it and fight with it, and it gives me a little bit of enough of an impression that I can just hand cut out a tab. You guys, this page was kind of a struggle. It was a journey for sure. I probably had almost an hour of footage that I had to edit down for this video because I was on the struggle bus. So cutting out that tab there, and then I can go ahead and attach that up at the top, and then I will do all my journaling. I do go ahead and use the same scrapbook.com Slick Writer pen to do my journaling, just because pens don't really want to play nice on that watercolor ground, I've found. So I do stick with that pen, and I'll have everything linked down below if you are interested in grabbing some of those pens. They're great for occasions like this. They're also great for writing over clear sticker paper if you found it difficult to write over clear sticker paper, but they do bleed through plain naked Bible pages. So unprepped pages, they do bleed through, so just heads up on that. So I'm going to use my T-ruler to give myself some journaling lines, and I do quite a bit of journaling, just asking God, to help me foster community over competition, that I want to just look at Him and not the others around me. I don't want to be focusing on competition or competing with those around me. And so I wrote a pretty, big chunk of prayer there. Here on the back side, you can see that nothing moved, nothing bled through. We're all good to go. So there is a look at the finished page. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Check out the description box for links to everything that I used in the entry today. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.